Hey, what's up guys? It's Ratsmah and I'm back with another arena video. So this week we're gonna actually play a game together, and I started it here because I thought this game would be interesting. So here we have the choice between passing or playing the abusive on 1. If we play the abusive on 1, it might cause the coin hero power, but we don't have a follow-up 2 in this in our hand, so it's probably not a good idea. But if you did have like a 3-2 or a 2-3, getting the abusive on board could be very important because that would allow us board initiative. So if we play this, imagine he coin pings, we play our 2-drop, it allows us to make the trades, and then we'd be leading on the board every turn. It would be our 2-drop for his 2, our 3 for his 3, and so on. So here I'm just going to equip the Stormforged Axe and pass. It's better to play this now, especially since we know we have a Chill and Yeti on turn 4, so we definitely don't want to overload on our turn 4, so we'll overload now while we have the blue guild to play on our turn 3. And yes. So yeah, we did draft the Emperor Darasan. This is a really strong deck. I drafted this not too long ago, and the first video I made was with the first game, but that game was really easy, so I didn't think that would be a very good video to showcase. So we're back at it again. Okay, so just play the 4. So if he fireballs or polymorphs, which is not uncommon for mages on turn 4, we have an answer to the bomber with our Stormforged Axe, so it's not so bad. Really. Okay, so we just continue developing. We have a couple of choices here. We're gonna abusive, hit, with our axe, and then this would be a 4-1. We could try to draw for the healing totem, but that would be 1-3, and we would leak 2 mana, and I don't really like that. So here I think the stronger play would be to play Chill and Yeti, and then equip the Rock Biter to ourselves, kill here, and now he can't even ping the 4-1 because it's a 4-2. So yeah, this is actually the first time I get to play with Emperor Darasan, and it was the first pick. So I was thinking about like redoing the video because I didn't want like a really like overpowered deck, but it ended up being a pretty strong deck. Getting a lot of value for our Stormforged Axe here. Another Yeti. And honestly, the Emperor Darasan is nice, but it doesn't really fit with our deck since we only have 6 late game cards, and I think Emperor Darasan might be the I think a 6 mana minion is the biggest card we have in this deck. So there's not really much we can do with the discounts. Okay. So yeah, 6 cards up against our 6 when we draw. He has Flame Strike next turn as well. That's something to think about. I think the first thing to think about is, do we play Argent Commander or not? If we don't play Argent Commander, that means we always tap, because the rest of our hand can be played with hero power. So Argent Commander, probably not necessary. It doesn't play around Flame Strike, so I'm going to start with the tap and see what we get. The safest play around Flame Strike would be some like hit here, Hex, hit, Chill and Yeti. I think that's okay. And I will actually go with that. So we Hex, trade here, and trade down here. Now his Flame Strike really doesn't kill anything. So if we get a healing totem here, he's in a lot of trouble. Didn't do it. probably Origin Commander here. We have already 2 1 health minions, so he already wants to ping one of these guys, so it's less likely that he can ping the Divine Shield. And I'll actually push, because at this point in the game, we're not going to win the value game against the Mage. Mages tend to hard counter Shamans, and this is why Shaman is so weak in the meta. It's because once you get board cleared and lose all your totems, because you're such a board dependent class, without a board, you're not going to get value. And you get out-tempoed very easily since your hero power is not active and it doesn't immediately do something to affect the board. Okay.
Well played.
So there, if we played any slower, it would have been really bad. If he had another Flame Strike, we would have a 4-2. We would have a 4-2 and we would be 5 off lethal, but we get to redevelop. So imagine he did Flame Strike again. We would have a 4-2 Argent Commander, and he would be at 11 or 9, and we would be able to play the Spider Tank and the Paladin Shredder on an empty board. So he would still need another answer on top of that. So he would be in a lot of trouble even if he had that second Flame Strike. So, I mean, depending on what class you are, you gotta pick a spot to really push for the win, because there's only a couple classes where you can just play reactively the whole game and win, and those are the really late game or slow classes like Druid or a Priest. That's when your mindset should be, if I stabilize, I win. So I want to play this as slowly as possible and try to just not die, because I know my top deck is going to be a lot better than my opponent's. But since we're Shaman and our late game is not that strong and he's Mage, we're going to make sure that we can win at an appropriate time before he gets value off his hero power and just his spells and his cards. Here I'll toss the Fang Creeper. Kind of want to toss the Chewing Yeti as well. Try to draw for a 3. I think that's fine. We have a pretty good hand against Paladin here. Okay. So we'll probably just play like a couple games. Maybe one more after this one. See how things go. Play the Zombie Chump. Usually I like to plan around the Shield of Mini and try to be prepared for it, but Zombie Chow does that really well. Most 2-3s do. So here, do I want to play the Haunted Creeper or the Loot Hoarder? Always trade here. Up against his turn 3 play. You really need to play about around the 3 drops, right? The ones with the 4 health, which is Spider Tank, Ogre Brute, Dancing Swords, Dark Cultist, whatever. The other one is the Scarlet Crusader, and the last one is the Harvest Golem. If we play the Loot Hoarder, we can deal with the 4 health 3 drops. We don't really deal so well with the Harvest Golem, but there's no play here that does. I guess Haunted Creeper would be slightly better against Harvest Golem, but it doesn't deal with the 3-4. The 3-4 or 4-4 3 drops. So I'll go with the Loot Hoarder here. Try to maximize our reach for now, since this adds 4 damage and this only adds 1. What we want to see here is hero power again. Okay. And yeah, so why didn't I talk about things like 3-mana 2/3s or 3-mana 3/3s like Iron for Grizzly or Rachel Morgan? It's because if you play around Spider Tank, it automatically plays around Flesh Eating Ghoul, right? Since Spider Tank is just bigger than Flesh Eating Ghoul, so you're already, that's why it's not a consideration. So here we can just double trade. If we double trade, what do we want to play after against this turn 4 play? Maybe 2 coin Bluegill would give us 3 damage on the board, or we can do 2 coin 1. I'd say we start with the Loot Hoarder draw to see if we can draw something. If we coin on this turn, we don't really have a follow-up unless it's Novice Engineer Bluegill. I'm I'm really worried about him getting value off his 4-drop, so I think we'll play small here. We can't deal with the 3-5 or a 4-5, which is usually the stats of a 4-drop. But we do play, we are playing a Shaman, which it's easy to do 3 damage since we have Rock Biter, Lightning Bolt, even Crackle in our deck. Okay. So yeah, slow turn. Hey. So we could Burly Rock Jaw, trade. If he Consecrations, this is going to be a 5-3. He can't deal with it with the 1-1. I think that's okay. What is the alternative? We have Bluegill Warrior, Charge, Novice Engineer. But once again, we're in that spot where we'll have 1, 2, 3 damage up against his 5-drop, which likely has 6 health, and we're not going to be controlling the board very well. So I'm going to go with this trade here. Since the worst thing that can happen really does not is not that punishing. Even Blessing of Kings, if you Blessing of Kings, it trades 1 for 1. He would need Blessing of Kings plus Divine Shield. Okay. Now we just have 5-3. So our 2 Haunted Creepers traded for Micro Machine. Okay, so he had Blessing of Might answer. So it's a 3 for 3. Our 2 Haunted Creepers traded for the Micro Machine, the Consecration, and the Blessing of Might. So that's not really that bad. Okay. So he has 5 cards up against our 6 when we draw, and we count our card draw because we have the board and we'll have the trade initiative. So we are up a card right now. Okay, now we're going to be up another card. So why didn't... Okay, maybe I should go through all the plays here. Like Argent Commander is a good play, but once again, it's weak to Consecration. If we double hit with Argent Commander and Defend Creeper, that would be 2 2-health minions. That wouldn't be so good. Excuse me. Okay. So we hit here, it's a 6-2. 6-2 is vulnerable to a second Hammer of Wrath or Consecration. We could just play Emperor Thaurissan. His best answer would be Consecration, Consecration and True Silver. I think that's fine. Just get the discounts. So it's extremely important to board control against Paladin. These are 2 of the most board dependent classes along with Priest. So without a board, a lot of the Paladin class cards are inactive. All the buffs, the Archer Protectors, Blessing of Kings, Blessing of Mights, and even like things like True Silver. And True Silver needs help to finish off a lot of minions since 5 health is really popular. He's not going to be able to True Silver a 5 health guy without the help of like a Silverhand Recruit or like a 2-drop. So that's why we try to trade aggressively. Okay. Could hit Feral and draw. I want to protect the Emperor Thaurissan. We'll start with the draw. I don't feel like we need to Archer Commander this turn. Okay, that's a really good draw. 2, 4, 6. So we'll totem. Okay. And we'll just Feral here. It doesn't. It's not weak to Consecration. And if we keep track of what cards he's played 2 Consecrations already, so it's less likely for a 3rd. And even if he does Consecrate, what really happens? He Consecrates, he has 5 mana left. He has 5 mana to develop up against 2 2/1s and a 2 damage axe. So once again, 5 mana, 5 drops usually have 6 health. Think about Spectral Knight, Spiteful Smith, Silverhand Knight, Venture Co, Fen Creeper. We'd be able to deal with all of them except for Fugan. So Fugan is one of the 5 drops with 7 health, but that is a legendary, so it's not very likely. So here, Archer Commander, hit, 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 hit. Looks like a clean kill, so we'll totem here. That's good. Does that change our plans? I think it does. I was going to trade the Novice Engineer in, but now that we got the healing totem, maybe it's better to preserve the 1/1 and hit here. We hit here, it's a 1/3 after the heal goes off. So it plays around Consecration. Do we want to do that? Yes. I will take the face hit here though. So we have tempo. So with the tempo now we're going to try to convert it into value. So how do we do that? We pretty much killed the Stengen for free and the Crazed Alchemist, but that was more of the Stoneforged Axe and the Archer Commander more than just like a board trade. What we really want to do is convert like the health on our minions to value. Okay. So what is the worst thing that could happen? Maybe like a double consecration. If he double consecrates, he gets one card up against our 4, so that's not so bad.
Reporting for duty.
Wow, I don't know about that. So let's just clear 4, 1, 2. I think that's fine. 4, 1, 2, 2, 2. This will be a 2/2. We can play the Death Lord. I think that's fine.
Victory!
If you're sure.
Okay. And we'll totem again. Even in the late game where you want to like take advantage of your hero power, because you can protect the totems, it really is not that good. I mean, what totems really benefit us when we're winning? The healing totem and the spell damage totem in the 1/1. So that's so bad. Even with the spell damage, it's only the lightning bolt in our hand.
Dragnos! Reporting for duty. To arms, men!
So we could have played this a lot more aggressively, but I mean, look at the board now. He has 3 cards. Okay, we'll look at the board after we make our trades. I think that'll make my point a little bit more clear. So here's a free kill. Here's a free kill. 2, 1, 2. Okay. We could even lightning bolt that, but I don't think it's necessary. We'll just do it this way. Maybe we do lightning bolt it. Could do hit, 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 blue kill. I think that's fine. So he has 1 card up against our 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got a 6 card advantage, and it's not because our deck is so heavy. It's partly because our card quality is so high, but also because we have tempo and we were the ones to make the trades. So think about Emperor Darsan's journey here. He killed a Dragonling mechanic, and then he killed a Quartermaster, and he also dealt with a 1/1. That was pretty good for him. So board control is key when if you are in a losing position or if you're down value, you never want to play reactively because you'll never win. If you're down value, you want to play in a way that you can get the value back, and that's usually through board control. The only time where this may be untrue is if you're like a mage and you're trying to bait into a huge flame strike, but baiting is really risky. A lot of times in like the higher wins, players don't really play into the baits, right? They're really good about playing around AoE. So we're going to toss the Feral Spirit. We have enough 3-drops in this deck. We don't want to overload on 3 because we'll have to play another 2-drop, and we don't even have 1 2-drop. So this would be a really bad keep. So we'll toss it. But yeah, so if you're down in value, try to grab the board aggressively if you have the chance, and then you can try to get the value back that way. It's usually the way you want to go about it. Here I'll play the Abusive. Things like 1-mana 2/1s, especially played on turn 1, are much better if you have a 2/3 to follow it up, or something like a Haunted Creeper, because the only thing that counters it from the Shaman is a 2/3. So imagine he played a Ratsmah here. Ratsmah hit, it's a 2/1, we can finish it off with the Haunted Creeper, and the Haunted Creeper, we get the Death Rattle back. If we have a 2/3, then he hits with his 2/3, we hit with our 2/3, we have a 2/1. Once again, we have board initiative, and we didn't lose value, right? All we did was get tempo from the 2/1. Okay. Could be like an unbound. Okay, it's an unbound. Can't necessarily deal with that. This is scary, because if he has a Lightning Storm, I think we might be shut out of this game. Do we want to play Deathlord? It would protect the Haunted Creeper from getting hit and Lightning Stormed into him. I mean, what else would be bad? Totem Lightning Bolt for 4 onto Spider Tank. That wouldn't be great. I will go with the Deathlord here. I feel like it's more secure against at least one of his plays, which would be Lightning Storm. So this will probably be the last game. I don't want these videos to be too long. And also, special treat, I actually have the results from the last arena draft, the Paladin deck. A lot of people have been asking for that, so we'll look at the deck together. I think that would be interesting. Okay. If he hits, it would be a big mistake, because we hit back and then we trade for the Injured Blade, and we'd have a 2/4 Deathlord and 2 1/1s on an empty board. Okay, so he didn't hit, which is correct. Hit, play Imp Master. Still kind of weak against Lightning Storm. I'm reluctant to play the Feral Spirit because it's 2/3. If he just has 1 Lightning Bolt, it's a 3/5, and he deals with the Feral Spirit really easily. It would take 3 Feral Spirits, 3 Spirit Wolves to deal with 1 Unbound. So I'm between Spider Tank and Imp Master here. The Imp Master a little bit weaker to AoE, but also better on an empty board where we can protect the Imp Master. Do we want to go with that? I think it's fine. I think either one is really okay. But Spider Tank would allow us to deal with the 2/4. He plays a 4-drop, so this trade always happens. If he plays a 4-drop, it's like a 3/5, 4/5. When trade hit. I think we play the Spider Tank. We'll hit in preemptively, just so he doesn't have like a buff, hit and then buff it up and then hit. We take 1 less damage on the Deathlord and get 2 damage onto the Unbound.
Engaging TC-130.
Okay.
Mental dislocation.
It's not great. Okay. This could be a more interesting game now that he's MC Teched us. He doesn't have a great way to deal with our board. He might do 3/3 here. If we hit here, it's a 2/3. This is a 3/2. He probably trades like this. I don't really like that. Can we afford not to play the Feral Spirit this turn though? I don't think so. Or the Ventrico this turn. We Feral Spirit, we can't play Archer Commander next turn. It's just awkward. I will go for this.
You gotta be kidding me.
And we will hit, even though we know that he can get this trade. So what might he do? Trade here, play like a Hex, clear this. We can Archer Commander next turn to clear the Deathlord and possibly get the tempo back.
I wonder.
The Archer Commander, bad thing about Archer Commander is it gets countered by this Fire Elemental. Okay. It's like a slow turn for him. Okay. Looks like he's accepting the fact that Death Lord is gonna die. Okay, we'll start with this hit. Not great, to be honest. Feral Spirit would protect the Bluegill Warrior, but the 3/3 kills the 2/3 for free anyways. Alternative would be to play the Imp Master and run this in here. If we Imp Master, he wants to do hit, so the 2/1 is somewhat protected. I think I like toteming here. Totem, and we'll play the Feral Spirit. If he has Fire Alley, what does he do? Fire Alley the 2/3, he runs the 1/1 into the 2/1, we run our 1/1 into the 3/1, Mind Control tech, we trade the 7/4 and we have board initiative. It's not so bad. We can develop the Zombie Chow and the Master. So Fire Elemental is not a good answer. I feel like if he had Lightning Storm, he would have played it with the Unbound up when we had the Haunted Creeper and the Abusive as well. Crackle. Frost Deli. It's really taking advantage of our Ventrico. I see this a lot now. And I see myself doing this a lot too. Just ignoring the Ventrico. Because it really does... If your opponent plays around Ventrico properly, it really does... really like messes with your turns. Looks like an easy turn. And we just play the Zombie Chow, which is right here. Then we get our free kill here. So our opponent has 6-7 cards. I'm not going to count the Nubian Egg for now, because he can't activate it. So we have 7 cards up against our 4, 7, 8. It's a really close game. In terms of like tempo, we are ahead since we have the Ventrico that trades here and also 3 more minions on top of that. Okay. So now our opponent has 5 cards up against our 6. We have a pretty good answer to Spectral Knight here. Okay. This is 5, 6 cards up against our 6. We have a board lead. So even though we got Mind Control teched, it wasn't so bad. We ended up getting only a Bluegill from Death Lord as well. But I think with proper turn planning, we ended up being alright. Although the game is not over, so maybe I shouldn't speak so soon. There's a Fire Elemental. Alright. Counter Fire Elemental. So we'll draw first, see what we get. Okay, 6/3 seems like the best plan. And if this game feels like it's gonna last really long and like we can't rush him down, I will clear the Nubian Egg. Just because it's so dangerous with Flame Tongue Totem or Bloodlust, right? But if it doesn't seem like the game will last that long, it's better just finish him off. It doesn't seem like he can activate it, so we'll see. Especially with the Fen Creeper down, I don't think it's necessary to clear it. So it's his 5 cards up against our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 when we draw.
I wonder.
Okay, looks like he's got an activator here. That's a decent answer.
Always little time.
Okay. We could 4/4 hero power, and that would make us use all our mana. But if we do that, then the 1/4 kind of dies to the Nubian Egg for free, because he gets through the taunt and he trades. So maybe it's important to put the Fen Creeper up. I'll go with the Fen Creeper play and decide whether we want to play the Burly Rockjaw Trog or the Paladin Shredder. So this trade always happens. We don't want to trade the 1/1 because the whole point of Master is to generate 1/1s for the cost of 1 health. So we just generated an extra 1/1 this turn. I see a lot of players make that mistake as well, trading the 1/1s off. Here we are ahead. He can't get past the 3/6. So to do that, he would need some kind of buff or maybe even a spell. So maybe it would be beneficial to play the Burly Rockjaw. Paladin Shredder is not bad. Paladin Shredder, the reason why Paladin Shredder is so good in Arena is because, you know, it's such a sticky minion, and even if it does die, it has a second body. So it's not a terrible play here, but I think we can get extra value off Burly Rockjaw by being in a winning position and putting it down. One thing we lack in this deck is card draw. We don't have like a Manatide Totem or a Cult Master. We kind of just like have high value minions, the Arctic Commanders, the Fire Elemental, and the solid 4 drops that we have in this deck. So it's more of a, this is definitely like a tempo Shaman deck. We're just playing turn for turn. So he has 5 cards up against our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, that's terrifying.
Always little time.
Okay. Hey, look at that top deck. So this always happens. We always totem as well. We'll start with totem. I believe the hex always happens. How do we want to trade this exactly? Might want to keep this guy healthy. Want to do 3, 1, 3, 1, 1. Hit. I'm really scared of Bloodlust here or Flame Tongue, so I want to clear as many things as possible. So maybe it's better to use all these guys. Instead of using 2 guys to clear 1 guy, use these guys to clear 1 guy each. So I'll go with something like this. I will hit here. Hit here. Hit here. Okay. So now if he had a Flame Tongue, he can no longer get value off it. I mean, he could, but it wouldn't be very much value. He could boost this guy up to 3 damage, but 3 damage really deals with what? The Paladin Shredder, but it kills off the Stone Skin Gargoyle. So yeah, I'm glad that we're ending on an interesting game like this. We are keeping up with this Shaman, and it's a lot of it has to do with just getting good trades off. When, you know, this game should have been a lot tougher, having him play to Onyxia and also Mind Control Tech. draw a totem first, see what we get. That'll help us plan our turn. Healing totem doesn't really help us here, since the tiger kills the 3/5 for free anyways. So where do we want to take damage? Probably still want to keep this guy healthy, right? You might want to hit here. If he hits here, we trade the 1/1s in. There's not like a good trade he can get because our 1/1s are alive. So we'll start with this. And we'll just trade like this. 4-2. Try to get this guy to max health. I think that's great. So he has 4 cards up against our 1, 2, 3, 4 when we draw. Okay, now he's gonna want to have gotten a healing totem here. Okay, as long as you don't get a healing totem, okay, which is good.
I hear you got a problem.
Ooh. Totem here. I want to keep the 1/1s alive. I think that's important. We'll hit here. Clear this. So why do I think the 1/1s are important? The 1/1s make it so that he can't hit into here. So if we trade both our 1/1s into the tiger, we would end up rock biting our face and hitting and taking 7 damage instead. Also, if there's like some kind of taunt or whatever, we can't even do that play, and we'd have to run the Paladin Shredder in. It's a lot better that way. Your 1/1s are important, especially in a class without ping. Being able to deal with the Divine Shield or just like anything with 1 health does come in handy. It's very flexible. Flexible is the right word. Okay. It's gonna be a taunt totem. So you probably just want to trade here. We'll trade the 1/1 totem off because we don't really care what totem we get next turn, right? The 1/1 is probably preferable to the taunt totem because it does damage. And I'll actually trade like this. And we could do this, hit, be a little bit more aggressive. I think either one is fine, to be honest. He can't get past the taunt totem. And it looks like we're going to kill the Scarlet Crusader into here anyways. I do kind of want to keep the 1/1 though, because once again, it does allow us to deal with Divine Shields and whatnot. So I will do this. This game is progressing slowly, but it's okay. Yeah, and as long as he doesn't... There you go, there's there's a Divine Shield. So I mean, as long as he doesn't like Lightning Storm or anything, I think we'll be okay. The Sunwalker is still hard to deal with, but you know, that's a 2-cost card that he could play. Ancestral Spirit maybe? That would really suck. I think he would just play it here though, since we don't have any cards in hand. What else do you think about? Hey, that's pretty good. So hit, 2, hit. Let's see what we get here. The 1/1 loaded taunt. Got the taunt. That's good. So what would have happened if we traded the 1/1 into the other 1/1 and just hit face for 4 damage, right? What would have happened? He would play Sunwalker, we'd have 4, 3, 3, 1, and we'd have to trade all 3 into the Sunwalker. So we ended up saving our Paladin Shredder by using the Paladin Shredder to kill the 1/1 and using the 1/1 to hit face and keeping the 1/1 alive. So it's the little things that add up a lot, especially when you're faced with cards that it's either you have the answer or you don't, and those two are completely different things in terms of how much value that you have to give up. So since we did have the 1/1, the Sunwalker wasn't as effective as it could have been. Okay, so we have 7, 9, 13, really close. 7, 9, 13. We do have lethal next turn if we can keep him from rolling a taunt, right? Is that something we want to bet on? I don't know. Let's see what totem we get. If we get taunt, we might be able to make a play. Man, this one's tough. Trust me, I want to go for face as well. We have a Crackle in our deck for direct damage. Crackle, and also one more Bluegill. What else? Crackle, Bluegill. I forget if we have 2 Fire Elementals in the deck or just 1. If it's 2, then we also have a Fire Elemental. Well, 20% of the time we draw into extra damage, right? I think we press this one to face, and now we can decide whether to trade this one or not. And I'm kind of leaning towards trading, or we can do it like this. I like this. So how does he trade? Hit maybe, and then we have the option to finish off the Yeti or go for face, depending on what we draw. We'll have 2, 6, 7, right? So that's why I didn't want to use Lightning Bolt. Trade, 2, 6, 7. So perfect lethal. I don't think it's bad to Lightning Bolt the Emperor Cobra or even Lightning Bolt the Yeti in trade, but I think this is slightly stronger. It does deal with his board, and we removed the 1/1 with our face, so we couldn't kill the Scarlet Crusader, and we still have lethal on board, which is the important part. So we have lethal. We can draw to see what we had left. So there's the Bluegill we talked about, so we would have drawn into it as well. So it's always good to keep track of your outs and just know what you can draw into, because that'll help you make better plays, because sometimes you do need to go all in. Like in that spot, we did play a little bit more aggressively instead of trading, because we've been trading all game, and that final spot we decided to hit face a little bit harder because we thought we could win, and it ended up that we did. But yeah, that's the arena game for today. Hope you guys got something out of it. Hope you enjoyed it. And let's look at the deck from last week's draft. So this is the Paladin deck we drafted together for last week's article. And it really was not that strong of a deck. Paladin is really strong in the arena meta right now because of its powerful class cards. But if you look at this deck, we have no True Silver, no Blessing of Kings, no Aldor Peacekeeper, no Argent Protector. We have 1 Shielded Mini and 2 Consecrations. And playing this deck, it ended up being that the Consecrations weren't even that good. What really won this deck was the momentum cards, right? The Hand of Protections, the Blessing of Mights, and just like flooding the board with minions is what won. One of the comments asked in the YouTube comments whether picking the Blessing of Might over the 3rd Consecration was ended up being good. It ended up being alright. Every time I played Blessing of Might, it allowed us to press our advantage. So if we were a little bit ahead on tempo, it allowed us to rush our opponents down further. And since this deck does not have that good of late game, it allowed us to end the game before the late game became an issue. So it turned out to be okay. I wouldn't suggest making picks like Blessing of Might over Consecration unless you have a lot of experience and you know what you're doing with your arena draft, because those 2 cards are the Consecration is so much better than the Blessing of Might most of the time that you probably shouldn't be taking that risk unless you know what you're doing. But yeah, with a little bit of luck, also a lot of trying our best and thinking through our plays, that deck went 11, which is really good, I would say, with a deck with like no Paladin class cards. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video today, and I'll be back next week with another video. Feel free to leave comments on what you would like to see next week, and hope you guys have a nice week. See you later. Oh, yeah, you can find me on twitch.tv/Ratsmah. No, see you later. Alright, bye. Awkward.